What is up, guys? It is Bob Blah Blah, and today I want to talk about what makes the perfect MOAB. What makes a good MOAB gameplay versus a shitty MOAB gameplay versus like an average MOAB gameplay. And it's a topic that came up on Twitter, and that's what this gameplay is about. Basically, on Twitter, a bunch of people were saying that TDM is really the only legit MOAB, Team Deathmatch. And the reason is because Team Deathmatch, the goal is to get more kills than you get deaths. Basically, that's the whole goal. So a MOAB always helps your team. It's never a bad thing, and it is definitely playing the objective. A MOAB in Team Deathmatch is playing the objective. So I jumped in TDM, a game mode I never play, 6v6 TDM, and I ended up getting a MOAB. I was pretty stoked about it. Now, yes, I did get in a lobby with a bunch of noobs, which is nice, but one thing I learned about Team Deathmatch, guys, there's definitely more noobs. It's the most played game type, and it's also the first game type and the simplest game type. So I just think, like, all in all, there's more noobs. There's still a lot of good players, but it's easier to find noob lobbies, which is a big plus. On the other hand, there's a lot of things that make TDM a hard MOAB to get, especially the score limit. There's only 75 kills. You need around 25 to get your MOAB. That means you got to get 33% of your team's kills, and you got to get them fast. You can't camp. If you see me, I move around this whole game pretty much, because if you camp, you're going to run out of kills. That's not a good thing. And so it's really easy to hit score limit. Every time you kill someone, this one, watch this, guys. So I think he's going to be around this corner. I don't know where he was. And somehow, I think he was on top of there or something. I'm lucky he was really, really bad. So running into score limit is a huge disadvantage. Another thing, if you're playing Domination or you're playing Kill Confirmed, you kind of have a way to lure people in. The flags you can lure people in. The tags you can lure people in. In Team Deathmatch, it's all random. You don't really know where anybody is. So you just got to play really cautiously, move around the map. But one thing I found is I say cautious, but you have to have a level of aggressiveness too, because if you wait, you will never get a MOAB because you're probably going to run out of kills if you play campy. So you got to go at the enemy and get those kills. So let's talk about what makes a good MOAB. Now, traditionally, most of my MOABs have been in Kill Confirmed, where I don't want to say I just missed a guy there on the right. I don't want to say I ignore the objective, but what I try and do is balance getting tags and getting kills. My goal is to stay alive if I'm going for a MOAB. So what I do is I say, listen, if I know we have a good lead, I'm going to avoid a tag if I think it's going to get me killed because we don't need it. We're going to win without it. As long as we're going to win, I don't really care. In Domination, same thing. I don't try and get flags if we have all the flags that we need because I'm trying to get a MOAB. And as long as we have the lead, I'm okay with that. Now, once again, if we don't have the lead, then I'm going to give up my MOAB quest and go for the win by jumping on every tag I see or jumping on flags. However, I'll freely admit that that's not a really great MOAB. I mean, if you're just avoiding an objective and playing a non-objective game or playing an objective game, it's really not that impressive. Even though I do it and I like it, ultimately that's not the objective of the game. So I can totally agree that probably the most legit MOAB you can get in this game is Team Deathmatch, because once again, that's the goal of the game. That's the goal of Team Deathmatch, to get more kills than deaths. And if everyone on your team does that, you win. If you get a MOAB, you could still lose in Team Deathmatch if you get a really bad team, but you did your part. On the other hand, you could play Domination or Kill Confirmed, get a MOAB, and not help your team at all. I think one thing I would say, though, another way to get a perfect MOAB would be if you got a Kill Confirm MOAB and got at least 24 tags during your quest. You wouldn't even have to get, all of your tags, because if one of your teammates runs on one of your tags, I guess you shouldn't get punished for that. But if you got 24 tags in that game, I think that'd be a pretty damn good MOAB. Another awesome MOAB would be if you got the majority or a bunch of your kills in Domination capturing and defending flags. That would be impressive. I don't know if I've seen that yet. Maybe someone who was playing solo capped 6 or 7 flags and got a MOAB. That would be pretty badass. But let's be honest, the vast majority of MOABs you see on YouTube are ignoring objectives. And once again, I'm guilty too. I'm not talking shit about anyone. It's just the easiest way to get them. And getting 24 kills in a row. So Team Deathmatch 6v6 is probably the hardest MOAB to get. And I would agree with that, having played and gotten MOABs in a few different game types now. I would agree with that. I think it is the hardest. Simple math, guys. You run out of kills, and also you don't know where everyone is. Now, once again, I got bad players in this lobby, so that's most MOABs. Most MOABs against bad players. That's just the way it is. That's the nature of the beast. So I never really whine about that because that's the same way it is for everyone. There are people, for instance, who do MOAB good players. That's another way you can consider a MOAB really good, is if you got it against good players. And I know some people have gotten some really good MOABs against beast teams. However, if you get that 24 streak ignoring objectives, how impressive is that? If the other team is good players, but they're actually playing the objective and you're just ignoring it the whole time and you lose, man, I don't think it's that great. And that's kind of my view. If you get a 24-25 kill streak and you lose the game and it's not, and you weren't playing the objective, I don't really consider that legit. I consider that kind of a bullshit. That's why I've always told you guys, you'll never see a losing MOAB by me unless I was playing the objective. I mean, if I'm in TDM and I get one, I'm going to show you that win or lose because I'm playing the objective, obviously, in TDM if I get one. But if I'm playing Domination and I get one, unless I was capping the hell out of flags, I probably would not bother with it. But one thing about TDM, guys, having played, I didn't play a whole lot, but I probably played 3 hours of TDM now. Actually had a lot of fun. You play strictly solo, and that's probably the best way to play it, because if you play with another good player, you're going to run out of kills, almost guaranteed, before you can get your streak, or it's going to make it a lot more difficult, at least. So I highly recommend, oh, thank God, Final Stand, that scared me. But it's actually been a blast. I mean, you get some campy lobbies, but for the most part, I rarely reach score limit. And there's a good mix of good players and bad players, but you get quite a few bad players. Now, the downside of that is a lot of times they end up on your team, which is really, really lame, because you can have a good score, and if you have a guy going 0-20, you're done, you know. But really, I've actually had fun playing TDM, which is really weird for me because I never really liked TDM that much in the past. So here we go. I think this is my MOAB kill right there. Thank you very much. I think I had actually only a 23 kill streak. One thing, guys, if you don't know, if you have hardline, assists do count toward your MOAB, so theoretically you can get a MOAB with 0 kills. Maybe I'll try and do that someday. Yeah, right. So let me know in the comments, what do you think makes a great MOAB? What makes a good MOAB gameplay? Obviously, one thing is moving around like I did that game. I covered the entire map at least once, if not twice. And to me, that's always fun, is rushing MOABs are clearly better than non-rushing MOABs where you just sit in one place and camp. But let me know in the comments what you think a great MOAB is and what makes a good MOAB gameplay for you. And I will talk to you guys next time. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, and I'll talk to you guys later. Take it easy. And watch here I get owned. Oh, Wanted Pro. How joyful you are. Take it easy, guys.